Hey everybody, Big Toad here with number 13 in our video series for developing a 2D or 3D game in Unreal Engine 5. In this video, we're going to create what's called a widget. And that widget's going to display the coins and how many we've collected in game. When we run our game now, we have two development nodes that are printing a string and printing text to the screen. And we just use those for testing. Now we need to give us a permanent count coin widget on the screen. So we're going to need a new folder to hold our widgets. So under content, we're going to open and say new folder. And we're going to call this one widgets. And of course, I'm going to change the color so it's easier to find. So we go in there and we say set color. And I'm going to create a new color. And I'm going to make this one a bright kind of pinkish color. Now inside our widget folder, we're going to right click and we're going to create a new type of blueprint, a widget blueprint. We will find that at the very bottom of the menu under user interface and go down to the very bottom, widget blueprint. Now when we click that widget blueprint, we may get a special message. And that message is just explaining to us that we've selected a particular type of blueprint that's different. So we're just going to click that user widget button and create our blueprint. Let's name our widget WG_game_play. When we open up this widget blueprint, it's going to look different than any other type of blueprint that we have. Widgets are specifically created to enhance the user interface experience. So we're going to display, in our case, the count of coins we've picked up, but you can display health bars and energy and all types of important gameplay information. We open this up in the design view up in the top right, and on the left column we have all different types of items that we can put into our widget for displaying information. The coin count we're going to create will be very simple. Start by going and open up panel, and under panel we find canvas panel. Canvas panel is typically the beginning of all your widgets. You're going to want them in just about every widget you ever create. Let's drag a canvas panel in and drop it, and we get this green rectangle which represents the size of your screen within the widget designer. You can size and shape that to the size of the screen you're going to use if you're doing a mobile device or such, but for our purposes, let's just leave it the size it is. Now again, there are a lot of options for what you can put into your widget, and I suggest that you experiment or you look at a title of one and go do a Google search to see examples of it and really see how creative you can really be with your widgets. If you are creative and artistic enough, you can really produce some really professional looking user interfaces for your game. Now for our widget, we're only going to need two assets, and they're both going to be the same. We are going to need text boxes. So let's go ahead and grab text and drag that into our screen and drop it inside the canvas panel. So we get a little box that says text block, and we get a little flower. That flower actually tells you where it's anchored. So if we bring it down there, it's anchored on top, so we bring the flower down to the bottom corner. And so it'll anchor in that corner relative to the distance from the edges. Now over on the right details panel, there are of course many things that can be changed. We're going to actually go down and change the color of the text. We'll click on that, and then we can just again pull the colors around and choose a text color. And you can experiment with those based on the backgrounds of your game and such and pick something. So I'm just going to pick something kind of simple. Just go with a blue there. We don't want our display to say text block. We will change that to say coins. Change it in the right details panel. We'll update that into our widget panel. We can change the size of our text box manually by using these sliders or punching in a number. And going into the alignment section, we can actually adjust the position the same way. Our X and Y axis, we can punch in a number, or we can drag the slider around to make minor adjustments. I like to sometimes use the size to content switch though. That makes the text box shrink and grow to size based on the size of the font and what I have typed in for the text. And as you can see, it disables the manual sizing features. Numbers change, but the size of the box does not. You can manually size those boxes also just by grabbing the white dots on the corner or the sides and dragging those, which I'll let you figure that out on your own. Now let's change the font. I want to make it larger. Let's find font in the right panel and open that up. And the fonts has some typical like word processing fonts. We can change the font family, different types there, not very many, but you can pull some of those off the internet too. And you can also bold typeface or such, and we can size it right here. We can size it just by pulling it or actually entering a number. And we'll resize that to maybe 40 for our screen. Now let's pull in another text box and drop it right in behind the coins and line it up. And we're going to do some of the same things there. We're going to change the font to 40. And we're going to say size to content. And now we can line it up better visually. We're going to change the color. I'm going to make this a slightly different color than coins. Just for fun, I'll make it maybe a green. And then click OK. And our color has been updated. And once you get the game going, you can adjust your colors and maybe look at some games you really like the UI for and use the colors they use. Next, we're going to go up and click Graph. We need to add a variable and create some logic. This view should look familiar, and it operates typically like all other blueprints. I'm going to stack the starter nodes up on top out of my way so I have room to work and I don't look so cluttered. I may need some of those in the future. In fact, I'm going to need the event tick. Let's pull up our menu and pull in a custom event. And we're going to use this event to get a reference to our data blueprint so we can process the count on coins. So we're going to title this Get BP Data Ref. We are going to build this just like we did in other blueprints. We're going to get all actors of class node, and we'll be setting that to the BP data in the dropdown. We're going to have to create a variable off of the out actors from that node, and we'll have to change it to from an array to a single instance, just like we did in the other videos. We will rename the variable we just created to Get BP Data Refs. Let's break that link between our get actor and our set, and then we can go over and change the variable. And we got this warning because we have a node out here, this set BP data reference. I'm going to go ahead and process it because I know there won't be any negative impact. And that screen tells me every place it was used. I'm just going to close it because I already know that. And now my variable's changed from an array. And delete that set. Then I'm going to pull in a new set. Every once in a while you can get one that doesn't quite work right if you use the one that got changed automatically. Then I will pull off of my out actor and get a get copy right there. Bring that in, and I can connect that then to my set. And this will be a piece of functionality we put in almost all of our blueprints moving forward so we can reference that data blueprint. And let's quickly put a comment box around that to keep it organized. And if you've been following my tutorials to this point, you should remember how to do this. Now we can move this to the top and out of our way. We'll just be referencing this. We won't have to actually look at it again. Now we will need another custom event. We'll pull in the custom event node. And let's rename this Update Coin Total. Descriptive and to the point. Now inside Update Coin Total, we need a node. So we're going to pull off of there. And we're going to search for Get BP Data Ref. And we'll add that. And that will call the other custom event we just created and get our reference to our blueprint that has the data in it. Now we need to create a new variable, so we'll click on the plus to add a new variable. And we will rename this to Coin Total Display because that's what it's going to do. It's going to display the total coins that we've collected. And we'll want to change the data type to integer. Let's pull a node off of the event tick and search for delay, and we'll pull that node in. Now, sometimes I like to use a delay in my widgets because my widgets don't have to be down to the millisecond. I want to reduce the number of times that this event click goes back and refreshes this data. Because if it's a half second, that's plenty fast for most UI displays. I will set the delay duration to 0.5. With my delay in, now I'm going to pull off of that and get update coin total because I'm going to call that routine we just built. Now I'm going to pull in a reference to the get BP data refs and drop it and get a get. Now off of this reference, I'll search coin total, which is a data element on my BP data blueprint. I will select the get coin total. I will organize that, and then I'm going to get a set coin total display node. And I will attach that node in line there and attach that one there. So this routine is going to go out to my blueprint for data, get the coin total that is updated there, the most recent version, and it's going to set the coin total display here in this widget. Then I can display the most recent coin total with this widget onto the screen. Now we have to go back to the designer view and link that text box to our coin total display variable. Let's click on our text box and go over to the details panel. And under text, we're going to hit bind. And then we're going to say coin total display. It's the only variable we have, so that's easy to choose. Now we can compile. And now we have one more very important step. And it's one of those steps people forget all the time. I forget it all the time, but it's critical to making our widget show up. If your widget doesn't show up, you probably forgot this step or did it wrong. Now close down your widget blueprint. Now right on top of the viewer for your level, you'll find this 3 square button. Click that, and we're going to go down to Open Level Blueprint. 3 squares, Open Level Blueprint, and click that. Now we're going to build a routine that's going to add our widget to our game screen. So first we'll need an event begin play. So we'll go in and search that event begin play and drop that in. Off of this node, we're going to add a create widget node. Right now it says construct none, but when we go down to class and we open that up, we'll find our widget. So we'll type in WG, there it is, WG widget gameplay, and we'll select that. And now we say create WG gameplay widget on top. Now let's pull off that return value node there and promote to variable. Now we have a new variable, and we can go over and name that to WG gameplay ref, because we're going to be referencing that widget here. WG gameplay ref. Now we're going to pull off the outbound node, the little blue circle, and we're going to get our next node. Search add to viewport, and there it is, and we'll select that. What this does real quick, when the play begins, it's going to go out and try to set this widget, so it creates this widget, and then it adds it to the viewport. It doesn't do any good to create it if it's not added to the viewport. Make sure to compile. Let's go run our game. We're in our game, and there's our guy. He jumps fine and looks good. So let's run and find some coins. There's a coin. It updated our coin count to 1, and we're still running good. And there's our second coin. Hit that, and it updates our coin count to 2. Let's go ahead and kill this game. Let's add some more coins. So we're going to Control D on our coin, and then we can slide it away from the other one and move it there back in line. Now Control D again, and you see the second one pop up. We'll move that one Set it back in line. Let's come over on this side, highlight that coin, Control D, duplicate, and let's put it on the other side of the blue blocks. Now we have, I think, 5 coins. Let's go ahead and run our game again. So we are in our game, and our man runs over and hits a coin, and we get 1 coin in our count. We'll hit the boxes and try to go through them, push them out of the way, and hit that coin. Now we have 2 coins. Now let's run back the other direction. And we'll jump up over our ramp, hit another coin, 3 coins. Another coin, 4 coins, another coin, 5 coins. It looks like our coin counter widget is working properly. We have completed everything we wanted to in this video. So I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you see the next video. And for now, this is the Big Toad, and I am out.